Do you still maintain all your cash in a regular savings account where you earn almost next to nothing? Or do you keep your funds in accounts that pay you as low as 0.1% interest? Or are you looking to save money for the future but still want to enjoy the convenience of easy access to your funds whenever you need them? Well, setting up a high interest savings account is the ideal solution for you today. I know there's a plethora of high interest savings accounts today. However, I've narrowed that list to my top 7 preferred high interest savings accounts which will pay you interest above 3%. So sit tight and enjoy the gems I'll be dropping in this video. Hello, my name is Ebuka and this is the Finance Ways channel. I'm a finance expert with several years of experience in the finance space. So this channel is dedicated to simplifying personal finance topics such as income generation, investments, savings, debt management, and providing you valuable tips to help you in your journey to financial independence. So if you find any of this content very valuable to you, please ensure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any of these videos subsequently. So high interest savings accounts are special accounts that offer you interest higher than the average traditional savings accounts. And this typically helps you to grow your investment or savings at a faster pace than usual. So the interest you typically make on a high interest savings account, just like any other account, is a percentage of the amount or balance you have in those accounts. And typically it's paid on a monthly basis or in rare cases on an annual basis. So these interests are typically calculated daily using the closing balances for each day. And the rates which are used are reflected on an annual basis and are subject to change without any notice to you. High interest savings are also the best ways for you to save your emergency funds. Remember, before you effectively start investing, you need to set out an amount which is equivalent to 3 to 6 months worth of income aside for emergency or unplanned situations. That's compulsory. Now let me tell you why you need to own a high interest savings account today. The first reason is the faster savings growth you can get from high interest savings accounts. So with the power of compounding, higher interest rates can significantly boost the growth of your savings compared to the low rates in traditional savings accounts. In fact, if you save for an extended period of time, you will earn interest not only on the initial deposit but also on the accumulated interest. So this will ultimately accelerate your savings growth over time. Now let's take a simple illustration. Assume you had a $5,000 saved in a high interest savings account at a 4% interest rate. If you were using a simple interest, you should get $200 for the entire year. However, with the compounding interest on the same $5,000 at a 4% interest rate, you should be getting about $5,203.71, of which you can see right here how it keeps compounding on the accumulated interest. Now if you compare to a traditional savings account that gives you a 0.1 interest rate right here, you can see that the amount you'll be getting at the end of the year is an additional $5 as your total interest earned, which is pretty low compared to the 203 that we were getting earlier. So the second reason why you need to open a high interest savings account today if you don't own one is the security and protection. So it's important for you to know that all deposits into high interest savings account are secured because they are federally insured up to a certain limit by government-backed insurance coverage. What this means is that even if your bank goes bankrupt today, your funds up to a certain limit will be insured and you don't have to stash your cash under your mattress. The third benefit is accessibility. So like other investment options such as GICs, term deposits that does not allow you to withdraw your funds up to a certain period of time, for high interest savings accounts, there are no minimum holding time period which must elapse before you can take your money. In other words, as you put your money, you can withdraw whenever you wish. The fourth reason why you need to get a high interest savings account today is the diversification of savings. So apart from providing high interest rewards to you, it provides a conservative and low risk avenue for diversifying your portfolio. That's your savings portfolio. So if you're a very high risk averse person, this might just be the best account for you because these accounts offer you stability and predictability in terms of your savings. In other words, if you're looking to buy a house, for example, in say 1 to 2 years, you will not be so worried about fluctuations in the money that you have saved in those accounts due to stability of this account and its predictability. The fifth reason I love the high interest savings account is its flexibility and absence of no minimum requirement for most accounts. So high interest savings accounts can allow you save starting from any amount, and this makes it even ideal for students and low income earners. So if you're wondering how high interest savings accounts work, very simple. So when you deposit your cash into a high interest savings account, the financial institution will typically use it to purchase financial instruments like loans, mortgages, bonds, and so on. So this investment in financial instruments will typically generate profit for these financial institutions, and then they are able to share this profit with you by paying you a percentage on your investment. So it's important for you to know that the interest on high interest savings accounts can fluctuate over time. This is on the basis of factors around the economy, competition in the savings accounts market, and the investment performance overall. An example is when the Bank of Canada increases the interest rate, there is a likelihood that the interest on your savings would also increase. Finally, when selecting a high interest savings account you want to go for, remember that financial institutions typically provide promotional rates for a certain period of time, say 6 months. And after that period, it reverts back to its low rate. So you need to check out for that when making a selection. So I've carefully selected 7 high interest savings accounts for you with no single promotional rate, but they have reasonably high interest rates. So without much ado, let's get into this list. So the first on my list is Motive Service Savings Account. Now you can see that they have interest rate of 4.1%. Additionally, you can confirm that they don't have any monthly fee, which you can see here. Unlimited transfer between the accounts, free deposits, and 2 free transactions per month. Okay, now you can see a 4.1% at its interest, no matter the amount you invest, as long as it falls between $0 and $5 million. Okay, when it comes to monthly fee, you can see it's free, unlimited deposits, monthly withdrawal just 2, and of course additional withdrawal transactions above the limit of 2 is $5. All right. Now, if you transfer between Motive accounts, it's unlimited, and of course, there are no charges for ATM withdrawal fees. So you should try and check out this account to see if it works for you or not. So number 2 on my list is CI Direct Investing. As you can see from my screen, it pays interest rate of 4%. Okay, it has a monthly fee of 0, minimum balance of 0, which means you don't have to put any amount to start or open up this account. All right. There are no promo rates, which is exactly what I told you before, and there are of course no fees for withdrawals or low balance. All right. There are no restrictions in terms of how many withdrawals you can do during the course of the month. So if you have more inquiries regarding this account, you can of course click down here to see. For instance, it tells you how interest is calculated and paid, which I explained earlier. You can also see if the rates will ever change and if your money is protected, which I always recommend that whatever financial institution you want to put your money or funds into, ensure that it has some sort of insurance or coverage. In this case, you can see it's insured by the Canadian Investor Protection Fund, CIPF. Now, the only downside to the CI Direct Investing account is that you cannot use it for your registered savings accounts such as your RRSP, TFSA, and so on. So that's the only downside to this account. Other than that, I think this account is ideal. Alright, so the next on my list, which is my number 3, is Achiever Financial. Alright, now when you scroll a bit down on this my page, you can see that it pays interest of 3.60%. Now this 3.6 has no promotional rate, there's nothing attached to it, and this is based on the daily closing balance, which you can see here, and paid on a monthly basis. If you then choose to go ahead to go for GIC rate, you can also see their GIC rates right on their page. Also, if you're wondering about the security of your funds or your deposits, you can see that it's secured by the Deposit Guaranteed Corporation of Manitoba, which provides some level of comfort around your savings. So number 4 on my list is Canadian Tire Bank. So Canadian Tire Bank has several interest rates for different purposes, but specifically for a high interest rate focus, it's 3.5% on an annual basis. If you then choose to go for a guaranteed investment certificate, of course you can go for that, but that's not our focus on this video. In terms of the other benefits around this account, you can earn high interest savings on this account, and then there's no monthly fee, no minimum balances, no lock-in period, which means you can access the funds whenever you want to, easy access to transfer your funds at any point in time. Now, if you want to look at the requirements for setting up the account, it's clearly spelled out here, such as the social insurance number, you need to be the age of majority, resident in Canada, and so many more. Also, inquiries around whether it has minimum deposit, you can also see the response right here, that there are no minimum deposits. And then if you also check if your money is insured, as you can clearly see, it's eligible for up to $100,000 in CDIC insurance coverage. So number 5 on my list is Oaken Financial Savings Account. Now, if you look at my screen, Oaken Financial Savings Account has an interest rate of 3.4%. This makes it one of the highest savings account rates in Canada at this time. Now, in terms of other benefits, which is pretty similar to the other account, there are no limit on the number of transactions you can make free of charge. You can easily transfer money from your account to an open HISA account easily. It's also available for your commercial needs as well as personal needs. You can also see other benefits around accessibility to your funds whenever you need it. And then of course, you can use your digital banking to access and manage your account whenever necessary. So this is one of those accounts I would recommend that you also have as well. So if you have more inquiries regarding the account, all you need to do is click on the learn more right here, and you should be able to get your answers. Don't forget that when you look at all these bank accounts or all these websites, ensure to look out for this logo which shows some level of security, and of course read to ensure that there is a CDIC insurance coverage, which I've highlighted right here. So number 6 on my list is EQ Bank, otherwise known as Equitable Bank. Now EQ Bank, as you can see, has an interest rate of 3% on your high interest savings account. The other advantage of EQ Bank is that you have unlimited transactions with no fee on your everyday banking, and you have unlimited Interact e-transfers and bill payments as well as electronic fund transfers or EFTs. In addition to that, there are no minimum requirements or fees for this account, and of course you don't need separate accounts for your savings and your checkings accounts. So if you can also see, there are additional benefits around withdrawal from ATMs in Canada. For instance, you can withdraw free from any ATM in Canada, and any fees that you get charged will be reimbursed, which you can see right here. Also, there's cashback on every purchase, and there are no foreign exchange fees, monthly fees, or hidden fees, so free of charge. So in terms of security around this account, you have the CDIC deposit insurance eligibility, and you have multiple security layers and fraud monitoring and many other security programs that they've set up in their bank. I personally use EQ Bank as well, and I've earned almost $100 on a monthly basis by using it for my tax-free savings account to generate passive income for myself. So the 7th high interest savings account on my list is Laurentian Bank High Interest Savings Account. Now this high interest savings account can pay you up to 4% interest. As you can see, it has a tiered system for interest payments. Now it has a 3% on all savings under $100,000. And of course, between $100,000 and $5 million, you get a 4%. And of course, any amount above $5 million will be 1% payment. Now, you can also clearly see that it doesn't have a minimum balance requirement, which means that even if you don't have any funds to put in the account, you can actually create the account or set it up. And just very similar to other accounts, you can see from here that you can withdraw your funds whenever you want. As it says, your money is always available for withdrawal. So if you choose to go for this account, here are the eligibility requirements. You need to be a resident of Canada. You must have reached the age of majority in your province. You must have a valid government issued ID, and of course your social insurance number must be ready. In terms of your fees, you can also see that it's free for e-statement if you choose to go electronic, and of course $1 each for Interact, transfer between bank accounts, and pre-authorized payments. And of course, if you go for paper statements, you should be paying about $3 per month, which is pretty reasonable. If you're also concerned or worried about security of your funds, you need to also know that it has a CDIC deposit insurance coverage of up to $100,000 per account. And of course, if you choose to open this account, you just need to click open a HISA, which you can see right at the top here, to create a new account from the comfort of your home. Alright, those are my 7 preferred high interest savings accounts, which I typically would recommend based on its high interest and the absence of promotional rate, and of course the existence of some sort of insurance coverage to protect you against the loss of your funds or in the event of the financial institution going bankrupt at any point in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it very valuable to you. If you have any questions or inquiries, or you have a topic you want me to talk about, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'm going to get to it and talk about those topics. Finally, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the gems in subsequent videos. Thank you and see you at the next video. Bye.